Well. Some celebrities done got themselves in trouble for bribing SAT officers and admissions people and things like that. I'm going to have a lot more on this in the next few days. But if you have not heard the story, apparently Lori Loughlin, who I have no idea who she is, but she's married to somebody else famous, and Felicity Huffman, I do know who she is, got in trouble for, in Miss Huffman's case, paying $15,000 to someone to let her daughter have twice as much time on the SATs, and then turn around and correct her wrong answers. So she went from a 1020 on her PSAT to a 1420 on her SAT. Here's what I gotta ask. If you're getting somebody to correct your wrong answers, why do you need twice as much time anyways? Skip it. Let them do it for you. Oh, man. And apparently... Whoa. What's with the ears? Hold on. Can't have these ears. These ears are... For real? Really? Alright, I gotta pay better attention when I'm doing this. No, we don't want any of that. Sorry, guys. I promise you. That was an accident. By the way, my name is Ron Carruthers. I work in all areas of college, finance, retirement, tax, stuff like that. Anyway, alright, no bunny ears. Button there, make sure those go away. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. Apparently, this dude, of course, in California, you knew he had to be in either California or Florida. It's the only place these scams seem to come from. And what happened was, people were paying him. Felicity Huffman got off easy. She only paid $15,000. Apparently, people were paying this guy, you ready for this? $200 to $400 grand to get their kid into a top school. And the funniest thing of all of it, I forget what Lori Loughlin, whoever she is, what she paid, but her kid was on Instagram or something like that talking about how she doesn't even show up for classes, she just parties and plays video games. Anyway, naughty, where is the shaming Septa when you need her? Shame. Or if you guys ever watch The Wire, Senator Clay Davis, do some shameful shit. Anyway, you don't really have to do this, okay? First of all, I guess we don't charge near enough. I ain't getting anywhere near 200 grand. And I do a pretty good job getting my students into their top schools by and large. Let me tell you the three things that you have to pay attention to. If you're going to get your kid into school, there's really three areas that you have to do this in. Number one is you want to make sure that their grades are at or above the grades that that school has as an average. So for like USC, which I think was one of the schools that people were bribing this guy to get it to get their kids into. And I guess the way the scam went is he would then turn around and bribe the SAT office, or they would get coaches to set up fake profiles. So somebody got their kids in who claiming they were rowers when they'd never rowed a day in their life or something like that. Anyway, number one, you want grades at or above the unweighted GPA that the school is looking for. And don't fool yourself into thinking that the GPA that you can get straight B's in AP classes and it's going to help you at top schools. Not at all. They're going to look at your unweighted GPA first, then they'll look at strength of curriculum to see how much your kid pushed themselves. So you want to be at or above, if at all possible, kind of that entrance GPA that schools are looking for. So at Stanford, Harvard, Yale, it's all going to be right at around 4.0 unweighted, maybe a B or two, but you're expected to have pretty much straight A's and a very strong strength of curriculum. The next thing that you got to pay attention to is what your board scores are. Now, if your kid really hates or does poorly taking standardized tests like the SAT or the ACT, don't pay somebody $15,000 to go in and change your scores. Let's put that towards your retirement and towards paying for college. And if you get caught, it sucks, because I guess they straight up arrested Felicity Huffman. And anyway, so don't do that. But instead, if your kid really sucks at taking these tests, you want to look to a website called FairTest, FAIRTEST.org. All right, and fairtest.org lists almost 1,000 schools. By the way, check out this weather. It's right here in North County, San Diego. I'm driving to teach class over here. It's absolutely beautiful. I think we're done with the rain for a little bit, but who knows? Anyway, fairtest.org has almost 1,000 schools that don't require an SAT or an ACT. Otherwise, just get started prepping early, and if you need help on that, give my office a call. But you want your board scores to come into the top 25% of what that school does. So we'll get asked, like, what's a good board score? And the answer is, whoa, there we go. The answer is, for the ACT, it's 36, and for the SAT, it's 1,600. And then people will laugh and be like, oh, well, that's a perfect score. And my answer is, yeah, that's good, right? But the reality is, it depends on where you want to go. So if your kid wants to go to, let's say, USC, you're looking at 1,400 plus, and you're looking at 32, 33 for the ACTs. If your kid wants to go to Stanford, Harvard, Yale, going to be even higher. If your kid is looking at, say, a Cal State school or University of Arizona or ASU or something like that, it's going to be lower. It's not quite as competitive. Doesn't mean the school's not good. It just means they let a little more people in the door, a few more people in the door each year, and so there you go. So you want to look at that 25th percentile and ideally strive to be at or above that number. And then the third thing is, colleges look for this thing called distinguishing excellence. And all it means is, okay, you got good grades, you got good board scores, you fit our profile, what else have you done? What have you done to distinguish yourself? Man, my arms are getting sore today. To distinguish yourself from the other students that are playing here. And they're not looking for joiners. This comes directly from a Stanford admissions officer 15-ish years ago. We don't want to, well, it was a different time, but her comment was, off the record, was, we don't want Asian bookworms. That doesn't mean they don't want Asians, but at the time, you know, there's the stereotype of the stereotypical bookworm kid who wouldn't come out of the room, would only study, and they're like, we don't want that. We want kids who go to pep rallies and get involved and do stuff. So having an Eagle Scout, if you're a Boy Scout, having a gold project or a silver project if you're a Girl Scout, having being in the speech and debate club, they like, that's a big deal. Having an after school job, having these other interests. And the other thing that they told us they like really were kind of against was joiners, meaning somebody who would just join everything. French club, Italian club, Spanish club, German club. It's like, come on, man, really? Like, no. Better to have one or two interests that you're active in, have a leadership position, and that's really it. That's the formula. Now, I mean, look, it helps if your senator's kid or give a bunch of money directly to the college. I believe the price years ago to get into Stanford, it was well known that it was $1 million. If you donated $1 million, pretty much your kid was in. So I guess maybe if you're donating $200,000 to $400,000 to this other guy, that's a big savings there. But the idea is that really following those three criteria: good grades for the school, top 25th percentile of board scores for the school if you're going to play that game, and if not, you can look at fairtest.org, and then really making sure you've done something interesting. Again, it can be one or two major things. Maybe your kid's in National Charity League and really does a lot of volunteer work. Maybe your kid's an athlete. Speech and debate is always a great one. They have very artistic speech and debates. They have very structured speech and debate things you can do. It's very wide, but that's particularly back east really looked on. So you don't necessarily have to bribe anybody. And by the way, I wrote a book about 10 years ago. I'm going to re-release it in 2 weeks called What Your Guidance Counselor Isn't Telling You, where we walk through all the stuff to do in greater detail to actually get into college. I will have you know, it is 5-star rated on Amazon. Now, granted, we didn't sell a ton of copies, but it wasn't my mom writing the reviews. It was real people. So if you want to not wait, you can go pick that up at Amazon. Ron Carruthers, What Your Guidance Counselor Isn't Telling You. And if you email me your receipt, I'll send you all the bonuses that I'm going to send the people who get the book coming up here. But we'll be relaunching that book. I've been meaning to do it for a while, and the fact that people are paying somebody $400,000 to get their kid into school, man, I don't know. I'm sure my $7 book will do great. Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys learned some stuff, and man, these celebrities, they're always up to something, aren't they? It's the reason I could not get out of Los Angeles fast enough. Anyway, that's your main man Ron signing off. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share this, and I hope you guys enjoy watching these as much as I did. I'm about to shaking my head. Oh man, celebrities, bribing, it's always something in it. Anyway, be sure to also check out our website, roncarruthers.com, and be sure to like this page so you get the updates. And like we said, feel free to share. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed doing this, and we'll talk soon.